It's time to mind your business with me, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in to find out how to mind your business with BEDC, special guest entrepreneurs, industry experts, and more. Brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda business starts here. So welcome to Mind Your Business.
Thank you.
You are welcome. My name is Jamillah Lodge, and of course, I'm pleased to have you here, Nandi Outerbridge, owner of Bananas Party.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So tell us about yourself.
Sure. So a little bit about myself. I am a mom of 3. I'm a wife as well. So I have been in this industry now, meaning the event space, for about 7 years.
Okay.
Before that, I was in investment management, doing finance, and I just felt like I needed to be out of the office more than in. So went to college, did all, the stuff to get my degrees in finance, came back and was working with Orbis Investment Management, and then over to Be Solar as their financial controller. And then landed myself into the event space when I was working for St. Peter's Church doing their treasury work.
Okay.
Yeah, they have the unfinished church. So it kind of was, I said, you all need to make money off of this property. It's amazing. They had been doing some stuff there. But we started to kind of formulate a real plan for it. And then the weddings started flowing and things were great after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you always had a passion for kind of events?
I haven't. I don't even know where it kind of went from. I think I'm a natural organized person.
Okay.
Which could have stemmed a lot of it. And then I'm very particular.
Okay.
So those two combinations mixed with just the go-getter spirit kind of took off from there.
Okay, so did you know that you were going to be an entrepreneur?
I didn't, no. I went to school, did all the things they tell you to do.
Absolutely.
Get your education.
Yes.
Come back.
Get a
Work
job,
in international business.
Yes.
It's amazing. And it was great, but it was not for me. My parents are entrepreneurs. My family has a history of entrepreneurship. So I don't know why they even pushed me down that route. However,
maybe they knew how hard it was because it's not easy. So they were like, we don't want this life for you.
Exactly. But the bonus is I can do my own finances for my business. Yes. So that's a plus.
Absolutely.
But it's been great.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So you unfinished church, you're selling out the weddings and all of that. And when did you decide, okay, this could be a thing. I can do this formally and it can sustain my lifestyle?
Sure. So one of the wedding planners at the Unfinished Church who owned the bridal suite were Carmen and Alistair, and they were retiring. So they had worked with me quite often with the church, and they were like, is this not something that you want to do?
Right.
So I'm like, no. And then they said, I think you should think about it. Our business is selling. We've worked with you for quite some time. I think it'll be a natural transition. So I spoke to my family about it. They said, if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. So I purchased the business from them. And it's just been growing ever since. So that business was Bridal Suite Bermuda, which still exists as our wedding planning arm to Bananas Party. But Bananas Party was birthed out of COVID.
Okay.
Primarily because out of Bridal Suite Bermuda, 90% of our clientele were international. We serviced all of the cruise ship weddings in Bermuda and then clients that were flying in to be married. Well, when COVID happened, there was no one flying in.
Absolutely.
And I said, we have to pivot and we have to pivot quickly.
Right. Because you need
to survive.
Right. Literally. Like we still have to eat.
So we decided to open the local brand, which was Bananas Party, because I just didn't want my bridal suite clients to be kind of confused with what was going on. Like, she's doing birthday parties.
Right.
People get very particular when it comes to that. So Bananas Party came and we just grew. We said yes to everything coming out of COVID and quickly realized that not everybody was for us. We couldn't service everyone and everything.
Right.
So we start to pull back on what that looks like, what's not burning my team out, what's not burning me out.
Right.
And we've landed in a good place now.
Okay. So tell me about the name.
Yeah, so Bananas it's crazy because Christina Scoba, who does graphic design, actually designed our logo. And when we were going through names, I said, I don't want something that's like party. I don't want anything generic.
Yeah.
And we were just going through the fact that when people talk about stuff, they talk about things being bananas. It's always insane. It's always crazy. It's always wild. It's great. And then Fergie's song, "This Ish is Bananas."
Okay.
I was like, I think that has a ring to it. So we landed on bananas.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think I was like, how would you have come up with that? But you're absolutely right. When you talk about extreme parties or things that are memorable,
yes,
then you're like, oh, that was bananas.
Yeah.
So what would you say is what you enjoy doing most when it comes to events and planning events? Because you mentioned that you scale back.
Yes.
So what are your favorite things to do?
I enjoy the design element a lot. Like bringing people's visions to life. We used to have people who come to us and they say, I want pink drapes and a black chair. And I'm like, no, that's not what we do. I'm not going to give you exactly what you want because I want to design in that space.
Okay.
So now we have clients who come to us and they're like, green and white and 100 people, do what you want.
Nice.
So
you trained your
clientele. Don't come to me saying you want something Mexican.
Yeah.
There's somebody for them. It's not us.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that because I think that can be hard for entrepreneurs to identify who their ideal customer is and how not to say yes to everything. Because like you said, out of COVID, you were like, we need this money. So yes, and yes to everybody.
Yes.
So how did you finally say, okay, no, I cannot do everybody, and then identify who that ideal client was?
So for us, it basically came down to enjoying the moment and why I am in this space, what gets me up every morning to do what I do. And realizing that there's a lot of other local talent that's out there that can service people that you don't really wish to service.
Okay.
So like, for instance, the balloon space. Balloons are part of a lot of events. We don't mind doing balloons if they're an add-on to our event, but we're not just going to do a balloon garland for your event.
Right.
We'll call someone else or point you into the right direction of somebody who can do that for your event. So for us, it's basically just making sure that we're always going back to what we enjoy. Like, is this something that at the end of the event, after being exhausted for 10 hours, we are happy with what we've done? So that's what I constantly go back to. We've also kind of pulled away from a lot of the little events as well, because I've built a team that can handle the larger events. And sometimes the little ones, people don't realize, even though it's 20 people, it's just as much work as 200 people, right? So us saying no on like a weekend when we have 5 other jobs servicing 200 people, we can't do a backdrop and a balloon garland for you. We cannot. We just can't.
Like, economics, it doesn't make sense.
No.
So talk to me about the types of events that you do focus on and the types of clients. And even if you don't mind sharing, like, one of your most memorable events that you actually got to do your full creative kind of, you have full creative license to bring your vision to life.
Absolutely. So we do focus a lot now on the corporate world, where we do a lot for them, and primarily because they are those clients who say, listen, we're handing this over to you. This is not what we do. We do have longevity with clients who have been with us for years. We're growing with their families from marriage to first proposal, marriage, first baby's birthdays. We love growing with those clients. Those clients know us, we know them. So the expectation is quite clear. I'd say one of our most memorable moments is always work that we've done for Bermuda Monetary Authority.
Yes.
Just because they like to go all out.
They do.
And they say to us, like, the craziest things I come up with, they're like, go for it. I'm like, really? The last event we did for them was a Hawaiian theme. It was called Aloha Lime. And I said, I want to do a waterfall. They were like, a waterfall? Do it. It is what it is. So we pulled it off.
Yes.
And it was amazing. But just being able to kind of be yourself in those spaces is always nice.
That's exciting, though, because I would imagine that being given that type of not control, but removing the kind of barriers, right? Frees up your ability to be creative and artistic and do the wildest dreams. Yeah. So Waterfall, that's pretty wild. Yeah. Can you talk about some of any of the other like kind of wild and out there kind of events or things, the activations that you've thought of?
Absolutely. So we did an activation the other day for the Slow Jams party, actually. Ooh. For Bermuda Air. Yes. And again, full creative control. And I said to my team, I want to build a photo booth into a panel board. We do the photo booths and they're fun, but I'm like, I want it to be inside of a panel board, which is like a display that doesn't have the photo booth stand with it. Yeah. Freestanding. And my husband's looking at me, he's like, you're crazy. And I'm like, but we can do it, right? Yeah. And he's like, okay. So that was pretty cool to do. And then, like I said, like just growing over the years of a lot of our clients, the ones who have said to us, like, the baby's going 5, like it was
you know what time it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, we gotta do it big. That's awesome. Nice. So the team, because it sounds to me, you come up with the vision, but I know you're not like hammering and nail, or maybe you are, but having the team, talk to me about how important it is to have members of your team that align with the vision and what you're trying to portray.
Absolutely. So managing people is tough in any space. But over time, and we've had this team now with us, I think the longest one has been with us for 5 years now. The shortest 3. So we've built this team over time, and it took time to get to this team, but they understand fully, one, our vision, our mission on every single job and what we like to bring to the table, which is amazing. But also they get my attitude on like event day. So no one takes anything personal. Right. Everyone does what they have to do. And what I love the most about my team is that they've all found their niche. Okay. So when we get on site, oftentimes we have clients say to us, I didn't even see you tell your team what to do once. And right. They know what they have to do.
Yeah, they know.
So being able to have those people surrounding us, because we could never pull off all of these large events without a team. Right. I'd be working probably 48 hours to finish that event. Absolutely. And that team also like extends beyond our group. Like we have 3 kids now. It's crazy. 3 kids in Bermuda is wild. We're done, by the way. But our family. Having our children during those late nights, it means so much to us. So we're so grateful for that.
Okay, so it's an extended team. It is. It's the team that you actually pay, but then
do the work, and then it's our family,
right? That supports you, and I think that's important too, because like you said, when you first decided to do this, you had to have that conversation with your family and be like, "Hey, this guaranteed paycheck is about to go out the window. Yeah, is it okay?" Yeah, and so having that support, I think, is huge.
It's massive.
So talk to me a little bit more about your on-staff carpenter, because you so is that your husband's expertise?
No, so my husband's a former appliance technician. He still does appliance technician, but he used to work for Rubis and Bermuda Gas. He's now full-time with our business. He does do his appliance work on the days off, which is like one day. But he would love to think he's my carpenter, but we absolutely have a carpenter that does a lot of work. My husband just does like the cleaning up, the painting, the making sure that it looks good on the site and stuff like that. So our carpenter though that we have is great. He's never told me no. I literally had said to him last week, we launched our mobile bar service. And we had a piece that was actually getting ready to go out for one of your events. Next week for a client. And I said, I want to launch it at this bar, mobile bar thing. And he says, so you want me to make this piece in a day? And I'm like, well, if you can't handle it.
Reverse psychology. He's like,
he's like, I'm doing it. So he's amazing. We're grateful for him.
Yeah, that is awesome. Like you said, the team makes all the difference because you know that you can give him something and he can handle it. So you knew before you asked that he can do it for you. That's wonderful. So I think you have been recognized for all of the great work that you've done by the Best of Bermuda Award. You've won our BDC Business Awards. What does that mean to you as an entrepreneur who, like you say, you started this business during COVID? And so just being recognized by your peers in our case, but then also industry for Best of Bermuda. How does that feel?
It is surreal. It's amazing because often day to day, you're just so in the grind that you don't see what other people see. So we do get the messages after events like, thank you for making it so great. After I've come down from that weekend, I can then take it all in. But when we had gotten the email that we have been recognized as one of the 3 top people, we were just like, what? Yeah. Like, this is crazy. And it kind of makes the work that you do feel good. Yeah. Sometimes you're like, I need a trip. I need to get out. I don't think people realize how crazy these hours are. And it's
events like, all the time. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah. So it's also, it was like just such an awesome feeling. Yeah. My team, they cried. Like, people cried. And we were like, what? This is crazy. So we were so grateful.
Yeah. I mean, because it really is, those nominations, especially for the BDC Awards, are public nominations. Yeah. They come straight from the public. And so that lets you know that you are making an impact.
Yeah. And even in that room that night when we were sitting down and all of the nominees were announced, it was so funny because we've worked with every last one of them. We've done something to make their business like stand out or done an activation for them. So when they had called our name and people clapped, my husband's like, who do you know? I'm like, I don't know. But even after, they were all like, girl, you deserved it. Like, you're the reason why we're here, right? So it was awesome.
I'm glad to hear that. Because that's why we started the awards, because a lot of times, like you said, you just have your head down and you're so busy grinding and working, and you don't get the chance to be celebrated or clapped for. I mean, your individual clients, like you said, will give you the thanks and testimonials, but recognizing that the larger impact you have on the community, and we see you, you know, and so we were like, we have to let people know, we have to do something.
That's amazing. And community's big for us. Like, you know, for a small company, we try as much as we can to support community events. The Women's Resource Center is close to our hearts. So we don't always have all of the funds. And sometimes I'm like to my team, I want to work for free just for 1 hour today. So they're like, okay. But we love to support community.
It's important, right? And when you support community, community comes back and supports you, as evidenced by, you know?
And just the feeling's good when people get on their feet. They're like, I couldn't afford it then, but here you go now.
That's right.
So
they know who to call. Yeah. It's that pay it forward, because you never know when and how you're going to get it in return.
It's so true. It's so true. And I feel like everybody's been through a patch in their life where they've wanted somebody to help them. So being able to do that for people is like, it's a no-brainer for us. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And it's obviously part of the whole mission, or it's built into the mission or culture of Bananas Party. Because like you said, when you ask your team, hey, can you work?
I know.
And they're like, yes, then that means they get it. Right? It's
they
not,
do.
Yeah,
they're buying into it.
Absolutely. I love that. So listen, what would you say has been the most rewarding part of this journey for you?
I would think the most rewarding part is kind of our repeat clientele, because that tells us that we are making not only decorating for their events, but we're making connections with their families. And then some of our repeat clients are hiring us to do their corporate events, and they're saying, listen, I've worked with her for 7 years and 6 years, and there's no one else I would put forward for this. So we're grateful for that all the time. Like, that kind of fills us up, being able to be called on repetitively, because everybody can do an event for someone once. And they're like, I never called in that person again. That was crazy. But being called again means that you're having a positive impact in what it is that you're doing.
And it speaks to the quality and attention to detail that most people appreciate. So when you think about going back to the beginning, right? Before you decided to do this, What's one thing that you would tell yourself as a new entrepreneur? Not knowing where it was going to go.
I would definitely say, like, it took me too long to build a team.
Okay.
Like, you can't do this by yourself, girl. And as an Aries, a natural person of asking feels too close to begging.
Yes.
That's something I still work on every single day. Like, who can help me? Where can they help me? And knowing that it's there, like the support is there, and not trying to do everything yourself.
Yeah, I think that's a good point to make, because a lot of times hiring a team means additional expense.
Yep, definitely.
And so talk to me a little bit about the logic behind telling yourself early to hire a team when you may not have been able to afford it,
right?
And how you can offset that cost.
Absolutely. So I would say, honestly, it boils down to like your worth. So when you first start out, you just don't know your worth. You don't know your value. You spit a number out and hope people will pay it. And when they do, you're like, oh, that was nice.
I probably could have go.
Exactly. So like being able to kind of just dive into your research on what people are putting out there will probably be my advice to like myself, because I just started and said, listen, I'm just going to see if this number works.
Right.
And then that number worked for me, but it didn't work for the help that I needed. So when I started to say, this is the cost because this is the team we come with, people were like, here's the deposit. I'm like, what?
They actually
right. I couldn't believe it. It was almost like sometimes we promise stuff and I'm like, I don't know how we're going to do this, but they paid the deposit.
So we got to do it.
We got to do it.
We got to do it.
But yeah, just making sure that you're covering your bases early is important.
And because you have that finance background, I think you probably were in a better position to be able to figure that out.
Yeah.
A lot of times entrepreneurs don't. And so like you said, they just throw a number up there and say, well, I don't want to be as expensive as these guys.
Yeah.
I want to be more affordable, when in actuality, they may be undercutting themselves.
That's exactly true. And the more people you talk to and network with, the better. So definitely get to the networking events.
Yeah.
Like we were speaking with some people in corporate and they're like, listen, we allocate $100,000 a year. Spend it.
Yes.
Like, stop undercutting yourself because you want the job,
Right.
but you're scared you're not going to get it. Like, we put that money aside for things like this. So I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't spoken to somebody in that space.
Right.
So that's always been very helpful as well.
So I want to go back a little bit and talk about like marketing and what you actually did. So of course you had the your bridal suite Bermuda first.
Yep.
So of course you had those clients coming in. But how did you build up Bananas Party, the local aspect? What type of marketing did you focus on? You mentioned networking, but how integral was that into your overall marketing strategy?
That played a huge role.
Okay.
Networking, calling people, emailing people, like just not being afraid to put yourself out there. And then obviously social media has been great. A lot of our clients kind of landed themselves to us just based off of stuff that they've seen us do.
Got you.
Bermuda Monetary Authority, for instance, they were the first gala that we actually did. We were doing small stuff. We were always called for like the small stuff in the office. And they said to us, you think you can handle a gala? Like, have you done a gala before? I said, I haven't. But I feel that if you gave us the opportunity, we can knock it out the park. They said, it's 400 people. And I said, that's fine.
Yeah.
Another one of those, I promised it, and I don't know how I'll deliver it. But when we did their first gala 3 years ago. Our team knocked it out the park. They were tired. I underpriced myself tremendously. But they did an amazing job and they called us back for their next one the following year.
Yes.
And then I priced myself accordingly and it worked. And then they called us again the following year. So from that, we then start to take on other corporate clients who are like, oh, you can handle that. I was there and that was amazing. So word of mouth in Bermuda is solid.
It still works, right?
It still works, yeah.
I tell people all the time, and I'm like, it is extremely important for you to be in the room with the clientele that you want to have.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely. And surrounding yourself with like-minded people who, if they're not in those rooms and the rooms that they're in, they're speaking for you in those rooms. I don't have a whole lot of friends. I just don't have time for a whole lot of friends, to be honest. Right. But the ones that I do have, they're like, girl, you want to come do this job? Like, put your best foot forward. I'm not playing. Don't play, because I put your name forward for this. So being able to just have people that can go to bat for you in the rooms that you cannot speaks volumes.
So, well, that speaks to identifying those circle of friends, because you said you don't have a lot, and sometimes people say these friends were for right now, right, and those friends were for right then.
Where they were. So,
what is your thoughts about either finding new friends or increasing your circle? How do you feel about that?
I always, like, in my mind feel like you should be hanging out with those girls because those are the ones that are like the movers and the shakers.
Right.
And then I go back to the fact that I don't like people that much. So, like, for somebody in an industry with people facing, I don't like people that much.
Yes.
So I have a circle of friends who are business entrepreneurs.
Right.
They're like-minded, and they don't like people that much either. So I'm like, oh, we chill.
Yes.
That's crazy. And it's funny because the circle seems full circle. There are people that I used to bartend with when I was 19 and 20 and stuff. And now we've just grown up, and I'm like, girl, look at you.
Yes.
She's like, yes. So those circles are the ones that we kind of confide ourselves in. I don't have to talk to them every single day.
Right.
We don't have to go to drink every other weekend. But when we need each other,
you show up for each other.
For sure.
So be selective and purposeful.
Definitely.
About
who's in your circle.
Yeah.
And just making sure that people are right for you. The advice that they're giving, surrounding yourself with people who are strong and having the balance. My husband's certainly my balance, because I'm like, I'll blow all of it up. He's like, but did you look at the first step? Like, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, you're right. Okay, it's fine.
So you need
having
that in your life, right?
Is important.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'm like, I'll rip all this stuff down at this event. Like, these people are rude. He's like, you can't control people.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and do your thing. So
that's good. That's important, because I think sometimes when you talk about businesses that you've created and that you've nurtured, and it's almost like a child. Yeah. Right? Like, this is my baby.
Yep.
And what do I do when I need to protect my children?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? The gloves come off, the earrings come off.
Exactly.
Like,
you can't believe you're like,
listen.
What?
But again, this is business, right? So the things that we would do normally,
we have to pull back. It's crazy. My best friend, we were talking because she lives in Maryland a few weeks ago, maybe a week or so ago. And she says, listen, after you getting that award, baby, it's like being in politics again. I said, girl, I can't tell people off at the gas station because people know you.
They gonna be, oh, you?
They're like, that girl, in the newspaper.
All the time.
She just told the gas pump attendant off. So it's really funny because we're just going back to every time I'm driving, I'm like,
yes.
And like, be like, road rage.
Yeah, no. It's true, though. You're absolutely right. Like, even me, but through this show, people hear my voice or they see me, and I'm like, make sure you reel it in.
Yeah, because people will be quick to put you on TNN and Facebook Marge's list.
Will.
Like,
all of it. So, but I mean, I think Bermuda in general is like that, right? Like, you cannot be out here acting a fool.
No, you can't.
Because somebody gonna see you at the grocery store. Right. They're gonna tell your people when you get home, and now you're gonna have to account for it.
Exactly.
So I appreciate that. And it's like, wait, I can't just have a moment.
No. Yeah, you can't. At home, in the car, bite your lip.
No, you can't. You can't. Listen, it has been great hearing from you how this all came to be. So I'd love to know from you what's next.
Yeah, so what next is exciting actually. So we just launched our mobile bar experience,
Okay.
which seemed like a natural transition for us. We like to feel like a one-stop shop when people come to us, and that's primarily because it's easier to just have it all in-house. You know what the expectations are. We love working with local vendors, so we bring them on as much as we can. But we do offer quite a bit of services ourselves.
Okay.
So we've just launched the mobile bar experience. We had an amazing opening launch night, which was last week at the aquarium.
Nice.
And we've had like 3 or 4 bookings out of that. So we're kind of just taking our time in that space to see how that goes and how we manage it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Yes.
Because I think you're absolutely right. If you are the client and you're looking for kind of wraparound services, then to be able to get everything from you when they already know you, they know your quality, they know your team, then they know what to expect.
Absolutely.
Even though it's a brand new service.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, they all like, we're the first stop for just about everything, right? People always say to us, who do you recommend for this and this and this and this and that? So being able to say, well, we can do 3. And then the other 2, this is who we'd pull in for those pieces is important.
And I love that you do support other local vendors because that's important, right?
Yeah, and there's a lot of talent. And listen, like I'm not gonna make baby oils for an event. I can call Unique Nails for that.
Yes.
I'm not gonna do candle making. I can call on different people, create ink for that.
Right.
And that's what we do. We bring them all in.
I love it. Yeah. Listen, so I would love for you to maybe share any last words of advice for people who are listening and maybe they are in finance or doing something else, but they don't really feel fulfilled. Like, what would you say to them to encourage them to consider fulfilling their passion in entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. So I always tell people kind of just go for it. You never know like how much you will be successful unless you leave your full time. It's scary, yes, because that's constant money, but then trying to figure out how you're going to eat is also what drives your entrepreneurial business a lot.
That's a good
So
point.
there's a lot of people who are just kind of stuck because they don't have the ability to go any further, whether it be the hours that they have or the time to reach out and put yourself out there. So taking that leap of faith, go for it. I mean, at the end of the day, you have your degrees. I say it to my husband all the time. I mean, I can go back and work for international business. I can't, by the way.
I was going to say, could you though?
I can't. I tried to work for a company during COVID. I was leaving at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They were like, where are you going?
You were like,
knock
I've
off
had
at
enough.
4. I was like, oh, my work's done. They're like, girl, what? So it's hard. But honestly, taking the leap of faith is, I've seen people do it.
Yeah.
We've had like DJs and photographers come to us and say, I want to do it. I said, I'll put you on every event.
Right.
It's a no-brainer. And they've been successful. So it's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. So look, you're creating other entrepreneurs through this process, which we love to hear. Look, I really appreciate you for coming and sharing your story with us. We've talked a little bit about your journey, and I'm just wishing you continued success.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for having us. Thank you for the award. Like, it's also amazing working with you guys.
You earned it. You earned it. Well, thank you for minding your business with us. And remember, if you don't mind your business, who will?
All right.
Thanks for tuning in to Mind Your Business with me, your host, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. because if you don't mind your business, who will? Mind Your Business is brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here.